Working with packages. Again, packages will group procedures into packages. There are tuning advantages in that you can actually pin the packages and you can communicate between the code within the packages. In other words, you can write code that directly attaches across the different procedures and functions within a package. It's self-contained. The code is better organized to a certain extent. Quite often better organized code depends on the coder. A package has a name, so it can be stored in the database and it can be re-executed at will later on. Packages have a very basic structure. Essentially, the definition is a set of procedure names and parameter definitions without actual code. It just defines the package as a label, much like you do in C programming. And then inside the package body, you have the real meat of the package, what it's actually doing, the functions and the procedures. So the package definition defines what's in the package, the functions and the procedures, and the package body contains all the things that it does, all the code. So as you can see, we have procedure and function definitions and procedure and function coding. The body cannot exist without the definition. Simple as that. It's syntactically required. And here we can see we have a basic package syntax diagram, which allows me to create a single procedure or function within a package. And it also allows me to create variables or data type structures within the package that apply across all the procedures and functions in that specific package. Again, if I want to change the code for an existing package, I have to replace the package. I cannot alter a single piece in a package. You have to replace the entire thing. And we look at the data types again that apply for the entire scope of the package. And obviously each function or procedure has its own structure of begin, end, structures, including exception traps and so on and so forth. The alter package command allows us to compile the entire package, just the specification or the definition, or just the body. And the drop package command allows us to destroy the package. So now we want to look at some examples. Here is a simple example of a package that essentially has a single package, is the definition. It has three functions inside it: divide, perk, and suppress zeros. And then we can alter it and compile it. So I can actually click on any of these and click play. It will compile that. And I can do that again. It'll compile it again. And in the package body, you can see we have the three separate functions, and here's the code. Passing in a numerator and a denominator. If the denominator is 0, it means we can't divide by 0. We will get an error. So we'll simply return 0, and then we return the result of the calculation, which, if we go back up to here, happens to be divide. Pretty simple. If there's an error, we will simply return 0. Percentage again returns numerator over denominator, but this time as a percentage. So it returns a string, return varchar, as opposed to a float value, a number. Float is a type of numeric or number data type. Has a floating point. The point moves around. It can move around. As you can see here, what we're actually doing is we're returning the number but converted to a string with the percentage sign added onto the end. And here we have a function that takes in a number, pushes out a string, and suppresses zeros. So let's go back up here first, and let's, anywhere on the package body, we click the play button, and it should compile the entire package. And now we can go down to here. We could actually compile it again if we really wanted to. The package is called utils. Note, alter package utils. Go up again. We have create package body utils as. So I'm going to try to divide 2 into 4. I get 2. I'm going to try to divide 0 into 4. I get 0 because when I try to divide by 0, I told it to return 0. So here we have a function called perk that actually is going to use 2 and 4 and make a division. And let's just go back up to the code so we can explain this. So perk is doing a percentage. So it says numerator, denominator. So we've got 2 and 4. What it's actually doing is it's going back to the divide function, which is in the same package, and it's taking 2 divided by 4, it's getting 0.5. It is returning a float value of 0.5. It is then rounding it up as a multiplication by 100 to get 50, which is a percentage, and then rounding it, and then it's returning 2char 50 with the percentage sign concatenated on. This is the SQL concatenation operator. It's an operator. There is a function that is essentially a function called concat as well. That's just one way to do it. It's pretty easy. Here, 25 over 100 as a percentage is actually 25%. Well, duh. And the suppress zeros function for 0, as opposed to getting 0, it suppresses the zeros and it just gives me a null result. So that is my example package code. Let's quickly look into the manuals just to show how we can find the create package syntax. And I'm in the Oracle manuals online, create package body, create package statement, so on and so forth. It should go into the database PL/SQL language reference or the SQL reference, SQL language reference. So essentially, it's simple. These are just the diagrams that show you how it all works and how it's structured. It's very basic. Packages are not complicated.